Hello, I am delighted to be joined today by Suzanne Henwood and Sarah Carruthers. You are presenting at the virtual element of the NLP conference in 2024, and your topic is raising consciousness around wise decision making, which is something I'm always keen to learn something about. So please do start by telling us a little bit more about yourself and your presentation.
Well, shall I jump in? I'm Suzanne. I'm based here in Auckland, New Zealand, so we're the opposite time of the day to you at the moment. So thank you for staying up late to speak to us. And I'm an NLP trainer, an MBIT master trainer, and I work largely these days as what I call a neuroscience-based coach in stress and anxiety. Yeah, you'll hear through what we say about the presentation. We've been working for quite a while and researching this concept of decision making. And that's what we want to share with you today. So it just gives you a flavour of who I am.
Thank you.
And I'm Sarah Carruthers. Suzanne and I work together in a company called the Luminosity Project, where we help people to bring the best of who they are to everything they do. Both of us, as Suzanne mentioned, kind of like neuroscience-based, research-informed practice. And we've been working in a collaboration, in a project called WISE, looking at wise decision-making with a company called G2L.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what practical learnings are delegates going to take away from your session?
Well, what we're hoping is that they will get a glimpse of what we've been delving into for, 5 or 6 years now.
Wow.
We want to condense that down and pass it out in a way that is something they can take away and use. So there's going to be a real self-awareness component. Right.
Mm.
How does each person make wise decisions, or make any decisions, hopefully leading them into being wise decisions? And what our research showed was that about 50% of people don't know. So from an embraining concept, in terms of that we have head, heart and gut.
Yeah.
And we know there's been research around for quite a while that says we can make decisions in the body so quick, it's happened before the head is even aware and before that head's made the decision. But in the past, it was all about two components. There was the head and there was the body. Mm-hmm. You might be familiar with fast and slow thinking, Kahneman, or there's several of those models. What we've done through our research is said that's not quite accurate. And the body actually has discrete components, or as we would call them, brains in embraining. And we've now done the work to show that that is valid and reliable. So people can trust that when they're doing this work, it's not just us, what's that British saying, on the back of a fag packet. We've actually done iterations and iterations of research about this. We can give you the P figures, this, statistical significant figures, but that's not what we want to share is, so if that's true, and we've shown that it is, what does it mean for me? How do I make decisions, and how do I know how I'm making decisions? And of course, we know a lot of the people watching will be in NLP practice, either with teams or with individuals. So how do I then go and calibrate and use that and help people change that if it's not working for them? So hopefully they're going to go away with real practical skills. We're going to set up time in the talk to allow them space to go and try out what we've shared with each other, and actually kind of then come back with questions, because you know what it's like, you learn a new tool and you kind of go, did I get it right? Am I making that up? Is that just my head brain making up another story? So yeah, we're going to give that space. And then at the end, we're going to give a beautiful little kind of star on the top, Christmassy metaphor, to kind of say, what if actually there's more than that going on? What would that look like? And so we're going to drift into another 2 centers of intelligence that we haven't got all those research figures behind, but we are kind of well on the way to doing that.
Brilliant.
I guess for me, the important piece, often you listen to a lot of these kind of theoretical presentations, is wanting to make it really practical, wanting to make it really usable for those attending, that actually not only will it be useful in your own life and your own decisions, what helped me make a wise decision versus a less than wise decision, as well as supporting you with clients.
Not that we'd ever make less than wise decisions, obviously.
Well, that's, I mean, you know, that's the number of times I can think of when I think, yeah, that maybe was a less than wise decision, and recognizing, I mean, I'm very fortunate that I have had some MBIT training. Thank you, Suzanne. So it is that understanding about where all the, and to have some research backing that will be a true gem, I'm sure, for
And
everybody.
I think you've just said the key, Karen. So what you said is, I'm really lucky that I have the understanding, right? And the awareness. So what we want to do is raise that consciousness level around this, because so much of it goes on outside our conscious awareness.
Yeah.
You can't change anything if it's not in your awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it probably gives you more, or it would give me more confidence and more trust that actually being able to recognize the difference between a wise decision and a less than wise decision.
I think it's also being able to be sure that I've used all of my intelligences, that I have used, you know, not only my head, but I've used my heart, my gut, my, you know, all parts of me have come to, you know, to bear on this decision to ensure it is as, you know, as wise and intelligent as it possibly can be.
Absolutely. Congruence.
Yes.
So is there anything that delegates can do before your session to give them a sort of a deeper understanding, or deeper benefit from your session?
Yeah, I think for me, it was around, again, that awareness. So what we'd love them to do, having listened to this, is to consciously bring awareness to decisions they're making. And there may be, you know, a small decision. How do you decide which sandwich to have for lunch? Or it might be a massive decision, like buying a new house or emigrating to New Zealand and coming and joining us. But kind of stopping, pausing, stepping back, being an observer, feeling into the body. Where did that decision get driven from? And we're not suggesting that it's one of the brains. We're a complex system. So it's about which brains and in which order. But did they all have a voice, or was some kind of, you know, that sometimes you get that heart feel that something just doesn't feel right, but you justify it by going, oh, but, yeah, but, no, but. So being really conscious, again, raising that consciousness of that between hearing this whenever they hear it and the talk will help them come in, I think, with more of an openness and at least a basic understanding, and hopefully some really juicy questions and curiosity. Yeah. So that's what we'd love them to do before they arrive with us.
Wonderful.
The other thing that I was going to say, the other thing that's worth mentioning is decision making is context dependent. So depending on whether it's a work decision versus a relationship decision versus, I don't know, where you're going on your holidays, you might notice different parts, different intelligences come to the fore. So if you want kind of that next level in terms of awareness, starting to apply it to, yeah, kind of different areas of your life, and just notice if there's any differences between different contexts.
Ooh. That's given me food for thought. Thank you. Yes. Sorry. Right. Focus, Karen. So what inspired you to want to present at the NLP conference?
Oh, Karen, you know, I've presented several times, and I kind of always know that question's coming. And the obvious answers are, I love ANLP and what ANLP does. And to be part of that, supporting that is, you know, probably number one. The second thing I always say is, it's like my PD for the year. So I've just finished watching last year's and watching people, some people I don't know, some people I would never have heard of, topics I didn't even know I was interested in until I watched the talks. So there's all of that. But this year, when I was thinking about she's going to ask me that question again, what it made me think of was, you know, NLP's been around a long time. And yet we turn up at the conference every year and there's something new. So like ours, this is world-breaking research that we're presenting, right? So what I love and why I want to be part of it and keep being part of it is because it is a platform that welcomes new, different, exploratory and research-based stuff that I won't hear anywhere else. So that's that's my answer for this year.
Thank you.
And we had a lovely time last year. So it's a great way to be part of a global community. We both, obviously English by birth, but live out here in Aotearoa. And it's a really lovely way to stay connected, to be, kind of linked to, NLP practitioners around the world who aren't, one particular school, which is really, really positive for us too.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's superb. So to remind everybody who's watching, Suzanne and Sarah are presenting on the 10th of February, Saturday the 10th of February at 9 a.m. GMT, which will be sometime in the evening for you guys, I'm sure. And your topic is raising consciousness around wise decision making. So thank you both so much for joining me today, your morning, my evening, and we will look forward to seeing you both in February.
Fantastic. Thanks, Karen.